Where in about an hour from now, a federal judge will weigh whether or not to unseal the affidavit that set off the FBI's unprecedented search of former President Donald Trump's home. It's part of the growing push for transparency in that investigation that could further divide the nation. Trump's legal team, his supporters, want that affidavit made public to ensure that the Justice Department is not abusing its power. But the DOJ contends that the move would compromise its ongoing criminal investigation and could damage national security. Lisa.
Well, look, it's all a lie. Look, I mean, go through this, right? All of this lacks any sort of common sense, logical reasoning. If these documents were so important, if it was all this classified information, it was so important, why wait 18 months? Why would Merrick Garland allegedly he mulled around for a while trying to figure out if this was the right decision? If these documents were so important, why wait so long? If they were looking for specific information, why was a search warrant so broad to allow for a fishing expedition? And if Merrick Garland was so worried about the integrity of the DOJ and the FBI being questioned, why selectively leak information and not want to release the affidavit, right? This all goes back to what Chuck Schumer said in 2017, that when you take on the intel community, they have 6 ways from Sunday for going back to. And now we're being told, as Trump supporters and Republicans, that we need to be the ones toning down the rhetoric. And you have the former CIA director essentially tweeting that Trump supporters and conservatives are worse than ISIS. But essentially what they want to happen is not for you to tone down the rhetoric. They want you to shut up, submit, and not question authority.
Yeah.
But we're going to question it.
Which is day of nomenclature, cancel.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know, my other question too, Jimmy, is, so that was an excellent question. Why the rush? My question is, 82 days out from the midterms, if it could have waited this long, why couldn't it wait for that?
Well, what do you think, boys? Come on, D, light it up. D, you
Hello?
sleeping on me?
No, man, I was muted. I was talking to the mute button. You hear me now?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just I couldn't sit on that couch in the middle without shit.
Okay.
You couldn't sit in the middle of that couch without growing a 7-incher? Is that what you said?
Okay. He's just all loosey right now. So let's go back to this. Agree with her point. Why do you wait? If it was so important, why didn't you get that a month after you got the 15 boxes back? Are you telling me it took you this long to get through 15 boxes of such crucial information? I don't buy that.
And Donnie, so I'm sorry. I went off a little loose end, man. I
It's
was going
okay,
a little
man.
somewhere,
It's okay. Let's get it done.
somewhere else.
You're good.
But no, I'm back. So I looked at the receipts of the property, man.
Should
and-
have changed the name of that song to My Big 7-Inch.
No. We don't need to remind everybody about that. Stop.
Go ahead, Donald.
This is what happens when you say that.
Hey, Donnie, but no, seriously, man. This is so phony, man.
It's just a private joke, ladies and gentlemen. Before we came onto the show, we'll get it together. Go ahead, D.
Yes, sir. Um, shit, man. No, the inventory wasn't detailed, and I think that's a win-win situation for Trump and his lawyers, because all they're going to say is they planted the evidence. Now, these stupid ass CBS News people were talking about, no, CNN, I'm sorry, that the cameras did all showed the FBI agents acting properly and all that stuff compared to what Trump said. And no, and that probably is right. But shit, when they take them documents to the field headquarters there, where probably Miami is the closest to Palm Beach, I would think. You don't think no funny shit's going on with them documents?
Serious.
Shit, and they gotta put it in a skiff, them documents, if they're so classified.
Well, it would make the common person question, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because that's their, like Donnie said, that's their go-to. I mean, anything after those boxes leave Mar-a-Lago, okay? You know, Trump's lawyers, again, like Donnie said in the beginning, I mean, they planted that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't there because first and foremost, Trump came out early and said, release it all. Release it all. Because he's not worried about it. You know what I mean? Who can declassify stuff, guys? Who the main guy that can declassify records? Go ahead.
The president first, it gets screened by the national security, the NSA.
The president of the United States.
Yes, and they recommend it. The president can't just go to a document and say, "Oh, this is unclassified." And I could really see Trump saying that, "I'm the motherfucking president." And hold up, Donnie, before you bite back. We've worked for colonels and light colonels in battalions and brigades, and when they get in there, sometimes we lose our army. What's the word I'm looking for, man? Ethics. Our values. When you see battalion commanders and brigade commanders do stuff, but their mind is, this is my fucking brigade. I do with it. And then I'm thinking, is Trump thinking this too? You know, with this testosterone that he has, you know, because you know what I'm talking about, the testosterone. When you get
but we can't look. You can't always come back to him being a fucking ignoramus because we know he is.
Blake,
we know he's an ignoramus, guys. But come on, you don't think that they're fucking fishing here?
Right,
they're fishing. Go ahead, Donald. Go ahead, Donald.
I read a report today on Trump, and yes, to answer your question, when there was who's got the bigger genital contest stuff going on, that's what you're basically referring to. Right?
Right.
And there were some of them senior leaders like, it's my world, it's my way. I don't give a damn what you say. But, you know, you can't. There's times you can do that. There's times you can't. There's a lot of times Trump, though, he always thought that way. It's my president, my generals, my this, my that. He always acted like it was his. He didn't realize it's not yours. It's the people that elected you and put you there. So that
I agree.
I agree. Now, to go back to what Blade said, of course, this is a fixing expedition because the lady that first came on, the warrant was very vague. It wasn't specific. If you were looking for specific documents, that should have been specific. The judge that signed it, it's easy to say there's some kind of conspiracy or put doubt in a jury's mind about they're out to get him because the guy that signed it is the same dude that was buddy with Epstein when now he don't like Trump because Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago or whatever it was. Didn't want nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah.
So there's one thing to say. It's another thing to say about Garland. If it was so accurate, so this, then why didn't you get specific? Why do you wait and only give us bits and pieces of information? The Justice Department, the Justice Department, if this is so crucial to your January 6th investigation, then you should have said that from the start. And Garland's little AG ass should have said something up there too. Like, this is crucial. We're not going to release it because of that. Once again, the January 6th thing, if you want to tie that little rate or execution of a search warrant and you want to tie that to Trump, you're fishing for straws, and your January 6th thing is out the window.
It all
And
is.
I don't care about his chief financial that just agreed to go plead guilty to tax violations and tax fraud. Guess what? That man's going to go do 3 to 5 in a minimum security prison, and he's going to come out and have all the money he wants because Trump's going to take care of him.
I'd do it.
Hell yeah.
What do you need me to say? What do you need me to say?
So, once again,
hey, Donnie.
Fishing,
Donnie,
go
ahead, man.
Listen,
go ahead.
it's
a
no,
waste of resources, it's a waste of time, and it's just
it all is.
At what point are we going to get here and say, enough's enough? And let our political leaders know, stop wasting time and money and actually do your job and debate policy. Do something else, because you're not going to get it.
Right. I got to get this out here real quick. D, hold your thought real quick, okay?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are viewing the show and those of you that are watching the show, we greatly appreciate. If you got a comment or you want to ask the panel a question, or you just want to say anything, you disagree or whatever platform you're watching us on, just go and place a comment. Doesn't matter where you're watching us. We will get it. We will respond. D.
No, with this Trump saga now is one that we all know they hate Donald Trump.
Listen, it's all about.
Hold up. He wants
to start off slow. Get into it. Come on.
Hey, I'm like wine. I'm like wine.
Whatever, dude.
See how you sidetrack me, Blaze? You see how you sidetrack me?
Bro,
you always do that.
Bro, don't you understand every fucking week? Don't you?
I work for the house. I work for the. Hey, fix your mic before you get knocked out.
The fucking in came right out. I got excited.
Just say Clarence one time.
I got excited. Clarence in the mic got excited.
Yes, sir. You're good, bro.
Let me hear this shit. Let's go.
No, but yes, sir. But Donnie, I'm thinking, wow, Trump is. I think he wants to go past the swamp, which is D.C., and I think he wants to attack these let's call them black groups, the Clintons, the Epstein circle. Bezos is probably in that now. Musk, I don't know if he's going to try to dip in it, but we always talk about that dark society, basically above the law, do whatever they want.
NWO.
And yes, sir. And I think Trump is trying to break that, man.
Oh, that's really part of what he did. That with some of his economic policies and some of what he did in the first term.
Look, they just fucking scared the guy.
They what, bro?
They're just scared. They're just scared. Hear me out. Hear me out. I gave you guys a couple of minutes. Give me a couple of minutes, please. All right. They're scared. Why the fuck? He's an ex-president. They've been going after this guy. Going to be now what, Donnie? Almost fucking 6 years?
Yes, something like that.
Almost 6 years. They've been trying to get this guy on anything. Now you raid his fucking Mar-a-Lago residence because of boxes that have already been accounted for by the what the fuck is the name of the place there? The archives place. Okay, sorry, folks, can't think of the name. Okay. That it's I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit.
Oh yeah, you didn't take a Prevagen.
But listen, it's just bullshit. This is how Garland may have hurt the DOJ's fight to keep Trump's raid affidavit sealed. They're not keeping it sealed. But what drives me crazy, and what I wanted to say a few minutes ago is that. What the fuck is this shit? Oh, okay. We're going to open up the affidavit for what? 2, 3, 4 days. It's like, all right, Donnie D, get ready. Hold on a minute. Ready? What's this say?
No,
and that's it. We're going to keep the affidavit out for a little while. And then the DOJ wants it redactive.
Yeah.
Before you do that, redactive. Fuck that. I don't want nothing redacted. I want to see what it says.
Well,
their
favorite excuse to tell
you lost Mike, D.
Go ahead, Donnie.
Oh, there you go. Go, D.
Go ahead, Donnie.
Go, Donnie.
No,
the first thing the DOJ is going to say to the public is we want to redact some stuff because it's going to hinder our investigation. Boom. They got it. Nobody can fight that. Nobody can fucking fight that. Nobody can.
No.
So it's
No,
you're gonna see a lot of black white out on black and white paper where Mr. President, I'm gonna be the future president as well. I love it.
Okay, sure.
It's,
We'll find
it's
out.
gonna be
But
great.
Steven, you're right. The Department of Justice is going to get what they want. They're going to black out what they want to black out. And here we are again with this.
Thanks for your comment, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Donnie. Go
We'll
again.
give you the minimum of information, and it's like the lady said on the first video. Just shut up and go color blue in the corner because we're telling you to. That's the type of political thought processes, the political thinking that's going on in Washington right now. Shut up and go sit in the corner because we got control of it all. And the reason why they keep going after Trump is I got to start looking into exactly what Demas said, the Black Society, and what you said, Blaze. Scared. What are you scared of? What have you done that he's got dirt on you that you don't want to come out? How bad is that? How bad is the dirt or whatever he has on you or whatever you think is going to come out on you that you can't stand there in front of a camera and a microphone and say, look, I messed up. I was younger. I was dumb. I made a bad decision. I messed up. Can't take it back. All I can do is apologize and move forward, right? How bad is it that you're scared to sit up in front of a camera and do that if you're one of these key politicians or one of these key, people out in this Black society? That's scary to me. So what actually goes on? Because when you talked about Epstein and the Clintons, that goes into that whole thing about the baby rape and stuff down at Epstein's Island, No, bro. So,
no. And and then if we want to throw something else in this onion to peel back, is Blaze, you just blew my mind with that. Shit.
I mean, what are they scared of? I want to know what you're scared of. Because wow.
No, did Trump steal documents containing information that could hold the Clintons, Obama, all these presidents below him?
Maybe
no,
right. Maybe right.
And I'm thinking that's what Trump has.
Right. And is that where the potential espionage crime comes into play, or espionage charge? Because that was one of the crimes other than tax fraud and financial stuff. There was a possible charge of espionage. So
Bro.
what documentation or what information does he have?
What espionage? What espionage? They literally said that there might be fucking nuclear codes. Now you guys know damn well that our government, oh my God, please can't be that stupid to write down a fucking nuclear code on a piece of paper and write top secret on it, and Trump's got that at home. Come on, they're reaching. They're reaching.
No, that's what
it's there.
But Donnie, the control of documents like that in the military, I mean, Trump can fucking talk it, but I think he's seen it once during his in-brief as president in the Pentagon, and that was it. That was it.
Yeah. See, that's what
Trump is not the only trigger, man. There's another. I think there's supposed to be another 3 triggers for the initial one. Then Trump is the final one.
What? For what?
Nuclear.
Oh yeah, there's like 3 different triggers. Yeah, there's different stuff that goes on. He doesn't go and just push a button by himself and turn a key and all that. No, I get that.
Yeah, but how can them documents leave that facility, man?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. There's more to it than just that. But why do we, on one side, they want to hold everything tight and say, no, do what we say. The other side's screaming for transparency. So I just don't understand what it is you're scared of. And if Trump is out there and he's saying, go ahead, release all of it, I don't care, I got nothing to hide. That tells me he's got every crony lined up to go for the charges to take some time, and he ain't.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by people that are going to go. When you have that kind of power and that kind of ability, you can do whatever you want to do. And he has. So,
just a quick story. There was a butler there at Mar-a-Lago, and this was before Trump became president or got into the politics. And every time he would come home at night, they would play "Hail to the Chief" for Trump, and he wasn't even a president. They were. I'm serious.
Wow.
You can look that up. You can look that up, and that song goes dun 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 dun.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay, but I
All
just,
right,
Yeah,
all right,
no.
What are we gonna do?
somebody's got to take his medication.
Yeah. but
Check
once
this
again,
out real quick, guys. Look who's out at CNN.
Yeah, I seen that today.
okay,
Hey,
so
Hey, you
No,
know,
he-
Cancel his show.
yeah, he used to work for Fox News, and that used to be Greg Gutfield's boss.
Yes.
Yep, that blew my mind.
That just goes to show that, look at fucking Como. Newsmax hired him. Newsmax hired fucking Como. No, what's Como going to be? What's Como going to be? A conservative now? Because that's what that station is. It's conservative.
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, that's what that's
Whatever.
saying.
So Como's going to come back. What's he going to do? Fucking say, oh, all the shit I said on CNN was a bunch of bullshit. They made me say it. Oh, I love Newsmax.
Well, I
know
think
what I
they'll
mean?
do a little better job.
It's a
than
bunch
that,
of
but
bullshit. That tells you right there how the media is so fucking full of shit, man.
Shit, Don Lemon's next. They're cleaning house at CNN, guys.
Yeah, they have to. Their
They're-
ratings
they're-
are going to shit.
Yep, and Blitzer is next.
You
And who's
know,
the other one. Wait a minute.
fucking what's his name? The flipper.
I said Don Lemon.
No, the other flipper, the white flipper that says he's a flipper.
Cooper.
Yeah,
No,
Anderson
but you know
Cooper.
something? No, but Anderson Cooper, he's well known to the media world with 60 Minutes.
Look, all I'm saying is you got to give me. This is a bunch of shit, and I can't wait until the affidavit comes out. Okay.
But when the affidavit comes out and if it goes to Trump's favor, do you really think the media and everybody else is going to let that get manipulated? I mean, hell, if the FBI, which there's it's over at like a dozen whistleblowers are coming out saying that, yes, we were told any information on Hunter is false information. Don't investigate it because of what was going on for the campaign. Now it comes back that you did that. So who's to say they won't do the same thing right now if it comes out in Trump's favor and try to downplay it? Oh, that's misinformation. That's not what we did. You already got caught doing that once. I mean, that's me. What else happens too if it comes out and it's a bunch of crock of shit and they find him on? You just took every one of them Trump supporters and probably half the people on the fence and you just turned them into, diehard, some of them diehard, fanatic, extreme Trump fans.
Oh, I
And then
totally
you're gonna
agree
have
with you,
more-
Donnie.
You're going to have more of the same dumbass stuff going on. People going out there and, the election is rigged, or they go out there and they get violent and they get dumb, do stuff like January 6th. So this is a point where
Whoa. What do you mean do stuff like on January 6th? Are we
Like
forgetting the
dumb-
riots that went on all fucking summer long? Are we
I'm
forgetting
not
that?
forgetting those. I'm not forgetting those, Blades. Those get wrapped up in the same January 6th dumb stuff. All of that gets wrapped up in the same dumb stuff.
Yeah, but that was all a Democratic fucking push. That was all Democratic push.
That's
Go
not
out
what I'm
there,
getting
go
at,
out
Blade.
there and fucking and cause some
Blade.
problems.
I know. I'm not getting at that, Blaze. What I'm saying is, you keep digging into Trump. You keep going after him, and every time you come up blank, every time you strike out, you come up with this generic he said, she said evidence. You just take all the right, extreme right that you're so scared of that is going to be tearing up our country, and you just motivate them. You give them fuel for their fire, and you
Right,
just attract
okay.
more people to it.
Right, you're absolutely right. Go ahead, D. Go ahead. Go
Just
ahead.
take a walk to the dugout. You struck out there, my friend.
No,
that leads us
no,
up to
no,
a good
no, no,
commercial.
no.
Oh, but I'm just saying, at what point are we going to stop and we're just going to start looking at the reality of this dude is very powerful because we kept him in our mouths. We kept talking. Democrats did it all the time, and you're still over there trying to nitpick at him, and you're just making it even easier for him in what probably might be a landslide, like when Reagan got reelected. Because the second term or whatever he got reelected, it was nothing but like red and like 2-3 blue dots or whatever. You know what I mean? When you're looking at the map. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. And that's what's going to happen in some of these midterms as well, because this Cheney just lost her little butt off to a Trump supporter. That person's in there now. You're just feeding the fire, spreading the fuel, making it bigger. That's all we're doing at this point. So we need to stop.
Yes.
Either charge the man or don't. Same thing with Hunter Biden. Charge him or don't. But quit wasting our time and our tax
but
dollars.
there hasn't even been a whisper. Not even a fucking whisper.
Yeah, there has been, Blaze. And
Okay.
even Doughboy from CNN made comment about that. In 2020, they made comment about Brian Selter from CNN made comment about the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden story was just a makeup from the right wing. So just recently, before he got fired on that famous CNN network, he made the comment that, hey, this ain't a right wing conspiracy charges. Hunter Biden has pending federal charges to him, and that's what will knock Biden out of the race to get reelected. But see, that's fucked up. They have enough of charges on him now. I think they just want Biden to fill out the rest of his tour. I'm cool with that. But wait a minute, Blaze. But he's another member of this black society we talk about.
NWO, man, just say it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's NWO getting socialized. But Blaze, he's facing tax violations. He's basically using his dad's position for profit. You know, when he wasn't supposed to.
That's from the DA in New York.
No, that's also the same rhetoric is going at the federal level. They've already indicted him at the federal level for the same thing.
Yeah, but they're indicting everybody but him. Everybody, like you're just saying pretty much what I'm hearing all the time. Oh, they got federal indictment, taxes and fucking this and that, and everybody else below Trump is getting convicted or pleading guilty. One of the other dudes that ran. Yeah. His company, he fucking pleaded guilty so he can only spend 100 days in jail.
Right.
Okay.
He just got the CFO. That's what I said earlier, Blaze, about Hunter, about Trump, having everyone around to take the sword. He's got all them people around. Now you done persecuted somebody from his organization for that crime. You got to have a ton of evidence to go after Trump for the same thing, because that dude already pled guilty to all that stuff. He's already sitting in Mar-a-Lago with his private room and, his own private little access to the Gulf or whatever right now.
All right, listen, let me tell you guys, I want everybody to hold their thought. I want everybody to hold their thought in this room, and everybody that's watching the rabbit hole right now while we run to a break, and we'll be back in exactly 4 minutes. All right, so don't go anywhere, because to me, I'm fucking aggravated. Just the money and everything that we're spending, okay, to go after somebody that they got nothing on. And the reason why they're doing it is they're trying to find the smallest thing, okay, that could be in the Constitution buried under 15,000 pages of fucking whatever. And it says, oh, we got you now, Mr. Ex-President. You know what I mean? You can't run for office right now. That's all they want. That's all they want. That's all they're going to try to do. Stick around more for the rabbit hole, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in exactly 4 minutes. Hey, welcome back to the rabbit hole. I am your host, Blazeman. Along with me is I work for the house and Donald B. So, excuse me. Look, here's the thing. Okay, so in June, they go to Mar-a-Lago. Okay, look at all the boxes. Okay, 15 of them or so. All right, sit there and go, oh, okay, these are nothing wrong with these, right? Or, they go in and they look and they say, well, Mr. President, this box right here contains things that we feel that, should be in our archives, blah, blah, blah. And Trump goes, yeah, no. You know what I mean? You can't have them. Thus, the same thing as Mr. President Obama did, with that being set aside. Now, you sit there. All I want to see is the fucking affidavit. I want to see who said what in order for that judge to look at that and say, yep, that's reason enough to go and raid the ex-president's Mar-a-Lago home. D.
No.
What?
This, I really don't know, Blaze, because I'm thinking of the archives, right? And then, of course, Trump is going to have a library here soon. If he wins in 2024, he'll probably select a library in 20. I mean, correction. If he doesn't win in 24, he'll probably select a location in 25 for his presidential library. But a lot of that stuff goes to the library. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you're making sense as far as those other documents, but the documents that they supposedly said he can't have, and I think there's really nothing there, but I think by raiding his Mar-a-Lago home, okay, do you think that they were looking for other things to help maybe the DA in New York as far as his tax frauds or anything to that nature?
Come on, man. It's the FBI, man. I'm pretty sure they employed that tactic, talk to the New York field house and say, hey, look for this in Melania's closet. I don't know, or Donald's closet or Barron's shoebox, Of course, man, they were communicating. I hope to God they were.
But I hope that Trump Jr. releases the CCTV footage. You know what I mean?
Why? All you're going to see is agents acting professionally.
You think so?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, you don't know until you see now, right?
Oh, come on.
Now, listen, I'm not saying that they ran in there. I'm not saying they ran in there and fucking, and took clothes out of drawers and just threw them on the ground and all that shit like that.
Dude, dude, you have to understand, he's also being guarded by the Secret Service.
And I wonder how that played out. What if he was there? How do you think that scenario went?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they strategically did it when they knew he wasn't there.
You think the Secret Service steps in and says, fucking, you ain't going nowhere near him?
I don't know.
Donnie?
No. If you have a warrant for his arrest, no. The Secret Service will not step in. If you don't have a warrant signed by a federal judge or whatever, yeah, you ain't touching it. I don't care who you are.
But if you have a warrant, for his arrest by a federal judge, the Secret Service will turn him in.
Right. That's why I say
turn him in.
Yeah. They'll help him take him. They'll be like, you got a federal warrant? That Secret Service probably be the ones tell him turn around, put his hands up, and start reading him his Miranda rights. Because the Secret Service is going to take any man with some dignity and some respect. They're going to take.
Well, now the three of us are starting to sound like the House's January 6th big witness, that young lady there that heard her story from two other people, but she's the star witness. You know what I mean? Right, I was in another room and I heard so and so talking to so and so, and they said, Trump had a fucking 15-foot arm where he could grab the driver by the throat and say, turn his fucking car around,
Hey,
okay, whatever.
But hold up, Blaze and Donald. Let's and I'm gonna caveat what you said, Donnie, about Trump exciting the base, and then the ones on the fence.
Yeah.
Look at these primaries that Trump has endorsed people. I want to say he's got like a 900 batting average on the people
Yeah.
he's supported. So this
Yeah.
is just not in Florida. I mean, this is in Wyoming, and we all know why.
Yeah.
All different parts of the country, and
I understand.
you would think the Democratic Party would be civil minded and say, we should leave this Trump guy alone. Because Donnie, Trump can lead a revolution. I think he's got that enough of supporters.
I'm
Why
not
not?
going to argue that. I'm not going to argue that.
Fidel Castro did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Well,
argue
I
that.
fucking voted. I voted for the dude, but I'm certainly not going to fucking bear arms to fucking go with his
Right.
whatever he feels is the moment that day. You know what I mean? Because look, I'll be the first one to say that the guy can be pompous a lot of times. But look fucking around us. Even though they were going after him every day, every single day, 24 hours a day for 4 years, this country didn't fucking look like this, guys. Okay? This country didn't look like this. Smallpox is getting out of control. Okay? The flip is need to fucking get this shit together.
It's not smallpox. It's monkeypox.
I'm sorry, monkeypox. I apologize.
So let me do this. I'll answer that right now for you, Blake. Because we're filthy people. We don't clean ourselves right. We don't, and we don't have any consideration for our fellow human being anymore.
Well, listen, they're putting a lot of this on the gay and lesbian fucking community. They're putting a lot of that on these folks.
No, you can't put it all on them, because if there's an open lesion, it's just like anything else. An open lesion on my arm, I
started in that community.
I scrape up on somebody else's arm. Guess what? It's a hot day. Pores are open. We're sweating. That whatever was in that open wound I had just went in their skin. That can get around like that. So let's not go there like with the AIDS virus and everything else, because that can get flipped so damn easy. It's not
I'm only
fun.
reporting what I've been reading, and I've been reading from reliable sources, and they're saying that this started in the fucking gay and lesbian community.
Whatever. I don't believe that for nothing. You can't tell me it started there when it usually was in Africa, and then you're going to say it started there like that? No, I don't want to hear that.
Listen,
I just don't want to hear
what
that.
happens, we don't got enough of fucking vaccines for it now. Here's another thing that this fucking administration's going to bumble, all right? We got monkeypox going around, okay? Right. They just signed a ridiculous bill, okay, that I got to definitely read, because I'm not going to comment on it too much because I haven't read it, so I'm not going to be anal and fucking act like I do. You know what I mean? But what I do know is, once again, it's spend, Democrats spend. Okay? And then come out with this great title of what the bill is, but then when you start reading, you see the money goes to shit nowhere. Okay? It goes to nowhere. It all needs to stop. I'm sick and tired of paying $4 fucking a gallon for gas. I'm sick of it. Okay? I'm sick of everything being high. I see the difference. I know you all see the difference. What used to cost me $150 when I would go to the big box store at BJ's, okay, now costs me fucking $225. I see the difference. And shit's not going up by $1.50, guys. Shit's going up by $1.50 to fucking $2 a whack. Okay?
Yes.
That's how this shit's going up. And I'm just sick and tired of it. Regardless of where everybody thinks of Donald Trump, yeah, I'll be the first to say he can put his foot in his mouth 1,000 times. He's a pompous ass. It's all about him. But I'll fucking tell you what right now. I wasn't looking at none of this shit when he was president. Go.
You're to me today, Blake. You're the second person that told me that. And the same thing I responded, I'm going to respond with you right now. You love his economic policy, but you can't stand. You bitch about Democrats and they're not doing nothing. But with that Inflation Reduction Act they just passed, that you said you don't know about, that we talked about the last 2 weeks. They're actually doing something about inflation, whereas they're not just going to give out a bunch of money and borrow from
There's
another
nothing
country.
in there that's gonna fucking help inflation. Nothing.
So you're telling me
Are you
that
seeing it? Are
Yes.
you seeing it in any way
I
now? What?
I can tell you where we're going to see it. I can tell you where we're going to see it.
All right.
can
I'm
go
gonna
and
write this
Medicare
down because
can
I'm gonna
actually-
look for it.
They can go negotiate with drug prices now. So guess what? They can go to a pharmaceutical company and say, I'm not paying $300 for a shot of insulin anymore. I'm going to go
But
over
that's
here
not
and
for
these guys
you.
gonna do-
But that's not for
what-
you. That's not
Yes,
for,
it is.
for D.
Yes,
Well,
it
it's
is.
for D
Yes,
now.
it is, Blake.
It's only
Yes,
for anybody
no,
who's on
Blake.
Medicaid.
Blake,
It's for
who pays
Medicaid
for
people.
Medicaid? Who pays
Yeah,
for
but
Medicaid?
still,
Who pays
we
for
do.
Medicaid, Blake?
we do.
Who pays
We
for
pay
it?
for
The
Medicaid.
taxpayer. The taxpayer.
Right.
Every single individual working helps fund that program. So now they
Right.
can save billions of dollars maybe, or millions of dollars. So we don't have as much in tax money we have to collect. Start thinking about second, third.
If you're
effective
gonna
things.
do something, Donnie, you're gonna do it for everybody, not for just for
That's
fucking
part of-
votes.
What did I
Blaze,
just
Blaze,
say?
Okay?
Donnie,
Not
Donnie,
just for
Donnie,
votes.
let me break this down. So what we're talking about here on the dollar is Medicare goes out with the drug agencies and is given the flexibility of where they can buy and stuff. This is not for the individual consumer. They come next after it's purchased, but this is Medicare buying power. You know, and
Yeah.
like Donnie says, it could possibly save us millions down the road. And I'm all for it. Yes.
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 There. And here's another thing.
The agents
Okay,
though, Donnie.
we're in that. Okay, we just jumped right to fucking medications. Okay, great. Where
That's
is
part
this
of
helping
what-
inflation?
That's part
Yeah.
of what, Blaze. This is where you got to listen more than 2 minutes. brother.
I'm
Let me finish.
listening to you, Donnie. I understand what
part
you're
of it.
saying.
That's part of the legislation that just passed to try to fight inflation. That's part of that. They're also going to bring out, they give grants for electric vehicles, right? Or you get tax credits and all this stuff. They put out enough money to start building the infrastructure for the electric they want. So that creates jobs. Guess what happens when we create jobs? We collect more. Therefore, we have more revenue to spend. We have more buying power as a nation. Guess
It's
what?
not going to happen. It's not
But
going to
no.
happen. What's in there?
Inflation is not going to go down to what we saw in Trump era days. And I'll tell you, it's not going to go down because we keep paying for it. It's in our necessities, our food, everything we do on a daily basis. It's in those commodities. So until demand makes it go down, the prices aren't going to go anywhere. You're starting to see that with the housing, and you're starting to see it with the gas. Because yes, there's more oil in the supply now. It's been what, a year almost? So all the times when they're saying, hey, produce more oil because we just gave Russia their bans or whatever, guess what? All that supply that we were bitching about, that we were trying to produce, is finally hitting the market. That's why gas prices are going down. So once again, it's a
Gas
supply and
prices ain't
demand
going.
factor.
Listen, what's gas pricing? Gas prices are still $4 a gallon around here.
Okay, I'm only paying 3 something, but they've gone down across the nation. The natural,
All right. So where do you think that
national
they're gonna?
average has
Where do you
dropped.
think they're gonna stable it out so the American people can say, all right, this is the way it's gonna stay? What do you think it's gonna be at? 350?
I think $3
You think
is gonna
three?
be- is going to be the new norm. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So three's not bad. Three's
That-
not
that-
bad if you're gonna throw that way.
Right.
It's not bad. Okay.
But with the electric vehicles coming into
Stop
the market.
talking about electric vehicles, guys.
No, because
Not 80% of this fucking country can't afford a $45,000 vehicle.
they're going to get cheaper.
Okay. How?
They're going to
How?
get cheap because they're just a battery, man.
Because
If
it's
you-
part of this Inflation Reduction Act. The part I don't like is they give a bunch of grants for companies to come over and produce electric vehicles. I'd rather you give them a loan at 1%, 2.5%, something where the government, you take our money and actually make it make money. That would be helpful, but I guess, we're going to have to eat crow on that. But that's part of that's some other stuff they did, Blaze.
That's going open to the market. I
That's
mean,
part of
they're going to
the.
they're going to
Leave me
give a
alone.
company from China money to come here to
No,
the United States.
no,
Okay.
U.S. companies, U.S. manufacturing
Okay.
companies. Come here.
Okay.
We'll give you some
Be-
tax discounts. Get green with us, and we'll help you. We'll give you some grants to help you get started to get green and help make electric cars and help
because
build the
because
infrastructure so we can have it.
the cycle we're going through right now on the green energy is the solar panels, and we
Right.
know where they're more all made.
Right. That's another part of why there's in that bill. A part is natural energy. They're allocating money for American manufacturers to get
where are they
producing that
made,
kind of
D?
stuff.
China.
China.
Right,
You know
we're doing
why?
it more.
Because China stole the fucking whole idea for fucking wind turbines out of a company in Massachusetts. Okay.
Okay,
They
but
asked
still,
this company to come over and show them basics in how to fucking do a windmill technology. Okay. And they stole their whole fucking concept. Okay. Go back and read it. It happened about three years ago. Go back and read it. Okay. And
remember
excuse
the
me.
dude.
And what the fuck is happening? What's happening is we're buying
But-
it from fucking China now.
well, that's part of why this inflation that you so desperately say you want to know about, that Reduction Act, that's part of what they put into. They're trying to allocate money, bring the manufacturing back, help you build, green, low emission manufacturing plants where you can produce that here in the United States. I'm giving you
Hey.
incentives and I'm giving you tax breaks so you don't your money just and go under. I want you to survive. That's part of the bill,
but not,
Blaze.
you know what I didn't like about that
What?
tax break on electronic vehicle cars was $7,500 for newer cars at a certain threshold, 85,000,
Right.
and
right.
then used or below 50,000, 4,000. But you know what's
Right.
sad
Mhm.
is that these manufacturers, Chevy, Ford, they raised their EV pricing up in increments of $7,000 and $4,000.
Yep. There's also
That's
something I don't
sad.
like about yeah,
That's sad. They just raised the MSRP on that, man.
right, because they're in their mind they feel like they're losing money, but I don't understand how they're losing money because the car was worth that much anyway. The taxes were going to the federal agency. That's what I mean. The car
Yes.
company B, A, the buyer C, right there, that's none of B's business. So, but yeah,
But
that's
Donnie,
how those are. But
This bill's gonna worsen inflation.
how, Blaze? Blaze, it's actually doing something about producing in America. Read through it, Blaze. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. There is some stuff in there that sucks, like we said about the electric, the solar panels, the grants. Well, that's taxpayer dollars getting put away, and there's no loan, there's no ROI, no return on investment on that loan. That's basically what a grant is. That just doesn't make sense to me with the financial situation we're in. They're also doing something about the so-called IRS that you guys were bitching about last week. The 80,000 jobs, that's to go help people and catch them in the loopholes and get more tax revenue.
And
So
I'm
if you
all
tell
for
me
that.
over
I'm all for that, Donnie. I'm all
right,
for
and
that.
that's how much we go to
just,
paying our debt. What,
yes.
Okay.
I just get frustrated with some people though, and they get out there, they bitch about what they do, then they finally try to do something about it. Now you're mad about the method. You need it too,
No.
man. You gotta have one or the other, and you gotta be willing to compromise. So they're actually doing something, and everybody's all pissed off because all they see is dollar signs now, and nobody comes out and explains to us where these dollars are going. And then it goes
While
back to
we're
the
talking,
transparency.
I'll scroll this down so our viewers can see exactly on how this is not good for inflation. So, that's all I'm
Blake.
saying. What? I'm just telling you what I'm reading.
Right. I'm telling you some of the stuff I'm reading, and I'm looking long term. I'm looking long term. What, Bean? Go ahead.
I'm all for the climate. I saw a documentary the other day. I can't think of the guy's name. Oh man, he played in
And I'll highlight some of the fucking eye catches, you know.
No, yeah, Roger. But no, man. So are we going to hit climate change now, or are we going to go into the next segment?
Well, I got something to jump in real quick,
what,
but
please?
Okay.
can we just stay with this for about another 5 minutes?
Yes, sir.
What are
Yes,
we
sir.
Okay,
with?
because already with two highlighteds already, I'm showing Donnie and how this is we're gonna. There's a big chance that this hurts inflation more than it helps. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you're asking all these people to guesstimate how we're going to get inflation down because
Well,
every
here's
one of
your
those
long
guys.
run
No,
effects.
stop.
Here's
What?
your long run effects. Go
Okay,
ahead, I'm
what?
listening to you.
Gross dimensional product, less because you highlighted. Now I can't read it. You knucklehead.
Oh, sorry, that's fucking you up.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
that's one guy's
Talk and
opinion.
read.
There's probably 10 other people that are telling you gross domestic product will actually increase, be more self-sufficient, and we won't have to buy from China. We'll be shipping out more than we bring in. Wage rate, yeah, that's gonna go where supply and demand and economy takes that because people are already starting to fan out at $12 and $15. They saw that companies can't afford it and they're not paying that. They're like, I can afford to pay you 10. Take the job or not. And there's people that are taking the wage rate, whatever.
Where Blaze and myself originated from was known as the Mill City. I mean, it was a big time cotton factories making clothes and all that stuff. And the way they're talking about bringing manufacturing, and this question is more directed towards you, Blaze. Blaze, can you think you can see a forever again with all that manufacturing work there?
No, but I do see them coming back. We just had a company come in that makes mattresses for big time suppliers like Cotty's, Cotty's Furniture, all that stuff like that. So
now wait, that's part of policies that came back, Blaze.
but
Yes.
it never.
But
it never.
I want to answer your question though, Blaze. You said we're just gonna take a whim on this and see if it works or not, right? Isn't that what this administration's been doing the whole time they've been in office? Let me just take a whim and throw a dart. Let's see what sticks. Throw another
Yeah,
dart.
but don't
see what
fucking
sticks.
lie about it. Don't come out and act like it's the fucking greatest thing ever put together for inflation. Because it's
midterm
not.
time. But it's midterm time. They need
Yeah,
a
I get
vote.
that.
Come
I
on,
get
Blaze,
that.
bro. That's politics. They're gonna go for what they got to do. Democrats, there's a lot of them. Republicans too. They're scared for their jobs. They don't know where people are going, and they're really like, which way do I go? They don't know.
Listen,
So,
guys, all I know is China wasn't fucking with us. I think there's a great fucking chance that fucking Russia would have never did what it did with Ukraine. Okay? China's talking to North Korea now.
They
Okay?
always will.
Well, but in a sense to where, hey, get a little bit more goofy and shoot some more missiles, be stupid, whatever, Now, 25 years ago, it would be fucking the U.S. is doing exercises with fucking China because they were one of our biggest fucking allies. That's gone. Okay? So now we're looking at India. You know what I mean? Excuse me, folks. Now we're looking at India. We're doing drills with India. Okay? And I just want to keep fucking ripping this administration tonight. And I'm sorry, because I fucking had enough of it. You know what I mean? I had enough of it. Okay? I bought a pot to fix my car. 2 years ago, I bought a pot to fix my car that cost me $86. Okay? Unfortunately, I bought it from the cheap AutoZone place, so it fucking defected on me. All right? That same pot right now goes for $158. That's the lowest. That's the lowest.
But
That's almost double.
Blaze, you can't blame it all on this administration. That's businesses as well. You know that. Come on, Blaze.
Donnie, they
Come on,
fucked
that's
up.
greedy.
Donnie, they fucked up fucking the Rona. They fucked everything up by closing everything down. That's just what
Exactly.
happened, Donnie.
Exactly.
That's just what happened.
What did you not think that these businesses are gonna come back and they're gonna maybe, hey, I'm gonna start getting some of them profits back on every little person that walks through that door. Did you not think they were
Right.
gonna
That's
do
the
that?
that's the wise thing to do, Donnie. I agree with that. As far as the business aspect of the whole thing, yes. Yes, well, you would do that. You have to fucking recover. You have to recover. Okay, so recover. All right. And then put shit back to normal.
What is normal? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know,
What is
Donnie. I want
normal?
to fucking
What is-
spend
what is normal at
155
this
on
point?
groceries instead of 225.
Then what do we gotta do?
Donnie, I think Blaze is looking for what is this $86 part going to cost next year? Is it going to be higher or is it going to be lower? And I think we're all looking for the lower number.
Exactly.
But I think a part like that will be $100 the next time when this bounces settle.
And I can deal with that,
But-
D. I can deal with
but-
fucking shit maybe going up 50, 75 cents, not $2.
Yeah, but look how
They-
quick the gas went up, Blaze. These companies didn't have enough of time to react to jump their prices to even out on the fuel cost.
Right, D, right.
And that's
But
what
we
they're
have
getting
to-
right now.
But we have
That's what
to,
they're getting right
you know,
now.
not that we're the smartest fucking guys in the room and we come here and we do the rabbit hole to just, voice our opinions on stuff. But 90% of Americans are looking at gas to fill their gas tank. And like we talked about this 1,000 times on a rabbit hole. Fucking that stuff is not just for gas. Okay, crude oil fucking makes tons of shit. We can agree on that, right?
Yes.
Right?
It makes tons of shit.
Right.
All right,
But
guys,
We
I'm
don't
bouncing
have
to
enough
this.
to manufacture it, crude oil. We don't have enough plants. We have to ship that stuff out because we don't have the resources within. And this is
Okay,
where we
so
always go
all right.
resources.
So
Or better yet, how about we start doing more agreements with north and south of us? That's how we fix
right.
our economy and inflation. Look, you got to look at this. If this isn't going to be fixed in a year, 2 years, 2 years of madness, 3 years of madness we've been through, it's going to take decades to fix this crap. So think that way, strategically. Let's do stuff north and south, because then we don't have migration problems. We don't have people bitching about immigration much because there's resources to our south. Come on now.
Right. Yeah.
about it.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, stick around for more of the rabbit hole. Okay. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Afghan withdrawal 1 year later. Okay. And see where we are and see how much for the final act on how much fucking equipment we left there in Afghanistan. Stick around for more of the rabbit hole, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back in exactly 4 minutes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking around for more of The Rabbit Hole. I am your host, Blazeman, with I Work for the House and Donald B. And of course, I work for the House, ladies and gentlemen. That's Mr. D. And we're going to start this segment off with this. So check it out, folks.
I'm here to announce the completion of our withdrawal from Afghanistan and the end of the military mission to evacuate American citizens, third country nationals, and vulnerable Afghans.
All right, a year after those famous remarks, General Frank McKenzie joining us right now, the former U.S. Central Command commander, the executive director of Global and National Security Institute at the University of South Florida. General, thank you for joining us.
Neil, I'm glad to be on this afternoon.
What do you make of the state of Afghanistan a year later?
Regression to a medieval environment. You know, all of the rights that, all of the human rights that we worked so hard to establish there are largely gone. Women's rights rolled back. The fact that we were able to take out Zawahiri was a good thing, but I think it also is a bad thing. And then it shows you he was living in downtown Kabul, which would tell you what the kind of good faith that the Taliban negotiated with us in about keeping Al-Qaeda and ISIS out of Afghanistan after we left.
So you think the Taliban knew full well he was there?
Look, I don't read the intelligence, but it's hard for me to believe he's not, if he's living in downtown Kabul in a protected area, yes, people knew he was there.
General, you were famously among the generals who said that this was a mistake, the outright pullout was wrong, or certainly the speedy timing of it. You said that I believe we should have stayed. I believe that everything that happened flowed from that basic decision. My recommendation was that we keep a small presence there to maintain a level of support for the Afghans, and that was not the advice that was taken. Now, Ron Klain, the administration's chief of staff, heard about those remarks and said, I think the president's decision to say, look, the American people sent their sons and daughters to this country for 20 years and paid with their lives. He went on to say the Americans invested in this army for 20 years. It was time for that to end. It was time to bring our people home. It was time to end this war. What did you think of that?
Well, Neil, clearly this is a decision for the president. He gets to make that decision. I had the opportunity to give advice, and he made a decision. Once the decision was made, we aggressively moved to support it and to complete the withdrawal. But I would just tell you, I fully understand the sacrifices that were made. I've been to Afghanistan. I sent my son to Afghanistan. I think a lot of us have made significant sacrifices in Afghanistan, none more than those families who lost their sons and daughters there over the last 21 years. But let's remember why we went in. We went in to remove Al-Qaeda and eventually ISIS and their ability to target our homeland, the homeland of our allies and partners. And that's ultimately why we were there. That was the case for staying. The case for staying was not to prop up the Afghans any more than they needed to be propped up to allow us to continue counter-terrorist operations in the future. That was the case for staying, and that case was not accepted.
Now, General, you stood out among your colleagues for following up again and again on this decision, that you wrote a number of letters over the course of the fall, well into the spring, saying that if we withdrew forces too quickly, it would be problematic. I'm just paraphrasing what you said here. But if you can just bring me back to that time, did all your colleagues agree? Did every individual in top command echo what you were saying and writing to the president?
Well, Neil, so I'm going to be, I'm only going to speak for inside U.S. Central Command. That's the U.S. Central Command position. We felt that if we withdrew effectively to zero, leaving a few hundred people to guard the embassy, that's still effectively zero. You don't have the ability to do any kind of work with the Afghans. We felt that the government of that the military would collapse, and that collapse would come quickly. Now, didn't know in April or in March or in late last year that it would come as quickly as it did. But I thought very strongly, and the people that work for me also felt that if we went to zero, it would be very hard for Afghanistan to survive.
Then the Taliban was kind of in control of things, and even down to our exodus, and you had concerns.
Well, sure. So, our mission was to conduct a non-combatant evacuation operation. That began, in August. We had done a lot of preparation for that beforehand. We felt that the best thing to do was to have a transactional arrangement with the Taliban that would allow us to get out. They wanted us out. We wanted to leave. I don't trust the Taliban. I don't trust them at all. But we had the opportunity to accomplish the same objective. We leave, they take over. And so those sort of things came together in August in Afghanistan. It's a hateful thing, and I very much regret that that's the situation that existed at the end. I believe that some of the security they provided helped us. I believe also some of the security they provided prevented Afghans from getting out. And so that's always the thing you weigh as a commander. Afghanistan's the land of less than perfect choices. You can't always get what you want. There was no elegant solution there at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so Donnie, do you agree with the general?
There was no elegant choice to make the ending. Yes, I completely agree with him. He's 100% right. We should have known. They had the intelligence there. It's just the commander-in-chief made a call. He made a decision, and it's the position of commander-in-chief, and you get to make it.
And he fucked everything up.
Yeah,
we left
right back where we went 20.
We left $7 billion worth of fucking munitions there. Trucks, SUVs, fucking ammo, rifles, fucking, one of our, not secrets, but one of our fucking trademarks to get us in and out of places in infrared fucking, glasses, fucking binoculars, or whatever you want to call them. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Every time that they show something that's going on in Afghan, which they did a couple of days ago because the women are starting to walk the streets and want to get their rights back, and they're being thrown in jail and fucking beat like they're dogs and all that shit like that. And I'm watching these Taliban guys, and they have fucking military equipment all around them. Pants, boots, fucking M16s, fucking protective shields, the whole fucking nine. The whole nine.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think was going to happen when we left?
Well, I put this up for the military guys to answer. You don't think that was a fucking debacle like no tomorrow?
Of course it was, man. And I thought we beat the horse pretty good on that, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
But they're poor now.
Yeah.
They're poor. Their fucking people are starving. All of this shit. You occupy your fucking country for 20 years. Young men and women fucking sacrifice their life for the greater fucking good because our country says it's the right thing to do. And we just fucking pull out. Fuck everybody. That's it.
And, when they had the committee meetings and shit, and they had Milley, the firing squad guy, and Austin, the Secretary of Defense, and they all took a bullet for President Biden. And this general now is speaking his own mind, which is, we knew it was going to come. We knew it was going to come. It seems like everybody below Biden fucking said, no, let's put a little force there and slowly evac. But Biden was determined to get the fuck out of there. That's basically what it tells me.
Well, it tells me that you willing to sacrifice the majority for the very little, and we gained nothing from leaving like we did. The only thing we did was we helped the majority of the world in that area get some of. I mean, you're talking about the uniforms and that. They can get that stuff on the black market just the same, but they don't have the money to buy it. So yes, they got it free. That the M4s, yes, we left all that equipment because it's probably coming out or whatever. But it goes to show you how careless you thought of how you're funded equipment and materials, and that's really what it showed me, is you thought nothing of me. I just need to go and do whatever you say. That my work, my efforts mean nothing. and there's a
Right.
lot of getting
Excellent
there.
point.
No, and the point I wanted to make in regards to Donnie talking about military stuff, you hear 7 billion. That really is not a lot of stuff, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the price is so high. Remember, we were talking about the prescription drugs going lower because the Medicare, the law maxes it out at $35, which is awesome.
I
That was
agree.
that was before the law. Man, when these defense companies get in front of the government, they have them by the balls, man. You know, and any rate they want to charge, they're going to charge because not everybody builds a tank.
Yeah,
Am I making sense, Donnie?
of course you are. They're very we could leave, like they say, a Black Hawk helicopter. There's only so many companies that make Black Hawk helicopters and the parts to support it. You know what I mean? So yeah, they
Yes.
could government. So it might not seem a lot. I know the dollar amount seems high. Yes, that's a high dollar amount, but it's not a lot of equipment.
No.
And it's just the fact that you didn't withdraw the right way, and then you want to sit here now and you're using what's going on in Afghanistan for political reasons and saying how bad it is and well, I don't know what to tell you about this before you just said, hey, we're getting out of there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's on you. I don't know what to tell you at this point,
Donnie, and this is my concern, sir. Al Zahiri, he got chopped up, man, pretty bad, man. That must have been a horrific death. And this Biden administration, they're distracted a lot. And here we go: immigration, inflation, fentanyl, Hunter Biden, Trump, oil, energy, supply chain. You know, these are all distractors for Biden. And my biggest concern, and the DOJ is involved in some of these distractors, but the biggest one I'm concerned about is Zawiri. The the radical people, they're going to look for revenge for his murder, man.
of course.
And I'm just concerned that the government is distracted with all this other bullshit and be focused a little more manpower. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Let's use the man. Instead of having 5 guys on Donald Trump, let's just have 2 on him for surveillance, and let's use the other 3 to surveil something else in the Middle East coming out or traffic.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Because that's
You know,
for me. That for me is when I always talk about this administration, how they keep poking the bear. They're poking the bear. That's another reason you just did when you came out of Afghanistan and you left us open like that. You just kept poking that bear because they're going to come back at us. Now, hey, we got 2 men a plane. Like, we know how we can get to them. And technology's advanced and weapons have advanced. That means accuracy and distance have advanced. They get a little closer and reach out a little bit more to us too. They don't have to be right up on us. And
yeah, no.
I mean,
Go ahead.
come on now. I'm just saying that's where we set ourselves up like that. We keep poking that bear. What's the long-term objective anymore? Because that bear's going to come back at us, and we're not going to have shit to help ourselves, man. It's going to be very bad.
No, I just I don't want to sound morbid or anything, but it's just like, well, this is our Hiri guy. He was a big dude in Al Qaeda and Taliban. And
Yeah, he was
what are
up
they
there.
going to do? Because they're all about avenging. This guy's probably a martyr now.
Of
They
course
probably
he is.
call him the Oscar Mayer leader. Oscar Mayer
He's
makes
at- they're-
sausages
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
God. Yeah. But
Okay.
they're going to come
No,
back.
that's a horrible
That's
death, man. And shit, Donnie, you've been over there. I've been. I went to the pre-warm up. The men there, all they do is drink tea and talk about how shitty the West is. That's all they
Majority
do.
of them,
That's their primary purpose in life, is to talk about the West.
yeah, it's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Biden's biggest lie.
Americans should understand that troops might have to be there beyond August 31st.
No, Americans should understand that we're going to try to get it done before August 31st.
But if we don't, the troops will
If
stay.
we don't, we'll determine at the time who's left.
And
if there are American forces, if there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out.
Liar.
Pants
He
on
didn't
fire.
do. He didn't do none of it. He didn't do none of it. He didn't stay. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. There's still Americans there.
He looks at it as a political victory that he got United States out of a 21-year deployment cycle. You know?
Yeah, that's all that was. I you know, like I was gonna say earlier, you know, I used to, you know, you could have said 2 weeks ago, I might have been on the fence when it came to this stuff and like the stuff with Trump, but now I'm off the fence now. At this point, I just think it's all for political gain. And it's just sad that the blood spilled and the, you know, the blood, sweat, tears, the lives that were lost. And it just makes me think you really don't give a shit about it. You don't. And we're just nothing but peons, and we're, you know, little pawns in your chess match. You know what I'm saying? It just really, that's the taste it leaves me with in my mouth. It's like, you know, at the end of 13 Hours with the Benghazi movie, if you watch the end of that movie, all the civilians, guess what they're getting on? That big old 747 Air, nice and comfy, it's all decked out. The guys, little ground pounders that did the fighting, taking, you know, the wounded home, what'd they fly in? Oh, cargo C-130.
Yeah, I was just gonna say cargo ship.
That's what it. That's the. You're up there. You got to be high class. I'll just send you in the cargo plane. You know, peon, get your butt over there. That's the taste it leaves me with in my mouth. And that's just.
Wow,
I don't know how you say that about a commander in chief, but that's how I would feel.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's strong words, Donnie.
Absolutely.
That's from the heart.
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you got a question for the panel or you just want to make a comment, it doesn't matter what platform you're watching us on, feel free to make a comment. And this is going to be our last break of the night. When we come back, we got a half hour to, you know, just try to, you know, get to the bottom of this. And the boys and I will talk on what the topic is when we return. So stick around for more The Rabbit Hole, man. Don't miss nothing. Be right back. 4 minutes. Okay, and we're back. Thanks for sticking around. I am your host, Blaze Man, along with Mr. D and Mr. Donald. And we're just going to throw in a wrench right here, ladies and gentlemen, and just bear with us because this has been wanted to be talked about for a while on the rabbit hole, and here we go.
I've always stood on my innocence and always said that I've never assaulted anyone or disrespected anyone, and I'm continuing to stand on that. But at the same time, I have to continue to push forward with my life and my career. And for us to be able to move forward, I have to be able to take steps and put pride to the side. And I'm going to continue to stand on my innocence and keep pushing forward. And I've always, stood on not disrespecting or sexual assaulting anyone.
So what are you apologizing for then? What are you apologizing
For everyone that was affected about this situation. There was a lot of people that was triggered.
But not the women that accused you of this?
I've apologized to all women. So anybody that was affected, even yourself, everything. So I'm apologizing to everyone that was affected about this whole situation.
What is going to be your response to that when the world comes down on you for standing on your innocence throughout this process?
Well, I have to do what's best for Deshaun Watson at the end of the day. And I know what happened. I was in those situations, but I have to continue to push forward and keep moving forward. And that's what.
Sue Robinson seems to believe the accounts that the NFL presented. In that hearing, she used words like egregious. How do you square what she wrote in her ruling, what she thought happened, with your belief in your innocence?
Yeah, I know who I am. I know what type of person I am. I know the character of person I was raised to be, and I've always been. So that's the biggest thing for me is continue to show who Deshaun Watson really is, and the people that meet me and that's around me, they'll figure out who I really am too.
Missing 11 games with your new teammates, how does it make you feel?
I mean, it's a tough situation, but at the end of the day, I have to continue to make sure that I'm around as much as possible as I can be, and just continue to put in the work and let, support the guys that's around, support this team. I know these guys are going to do very, very well. We're all professionals. We all here to do a job and to accomplish a goal, and that's win games. And I know the guys in that locker room are going to do that. Yeah, I'm moving on with my career, with my life, and I'm continuing to stand on my innocence. Just because settlements and things like that happen doesn't mean that a person is guilty for anything. I feel like a person has the opportunity to stand on his innocence and prove that, and we proved that on the legal side, and we just got to continue to push forward as an individual and as a person.
Donnie, go.
I mean, he says all the right answers, and he says everything he wants to, everything that everybody wants to hear. I mean, they keep it over and over again. He's like, look, and he's 100% right. Settlements don't automatically say I'm guilty. They don't. It's just a settlement. The Texans, the NFL, the Houston Texans themselves were wrapped up in lawsuits. They settled all them allegations. Does it mean the Texans were guilty of conspiring, do what he's been accused of? No.
Well, to me, settlements mean settlements mean you want it to go away.
But Donnie, I have a question. I have a question for you. Cleveland, why did they pick him up, man?
Because the upside is.
Go ahead, bro.
No, you were gonna say.
No, because they let go a pretty decent quarterback, Baker Mayfield. I think he was a year or two before becoming a top 10. If he wasn't at the bottom,
Okay, but there's one article I read when it was talking about Deshaun Watson and all this. He's only losing $1 million in salary this year because that's all he was going to get paid.
Right.
They fined him.
That's like
his fine's $5 million.
Yeah, that comes out of his wallet or whatever. That's a fine is a fine. You got to pay it. I'm saying for purposes for the Browns, that's part of why they took the chance. They better be ready to answer those next, year to 2 years while he's there in Cleveland. Every Sunday, every Monday, anytime they're in front of a camera, you better be ready to answer stuff about that. They thought it was worth it. So for Deshaun Watson, it pulls out great. In the end, he could have got 12 games and been done with it a long time ago, but it gives him a chance to keep doing maybe pulling the, kicking the can down the road to take the litigation out, more time to talk and settle, right? So
But
he played, even
no,
if he's guilty,
Donnie,
he played it out great.
even on his delivery to the press there, man. I mean, you could tell he was
He
coached.
was repeating himself.
Yeah, no, he was coached, man. He was coached for
Of
that.
course he was.
But I
Coached
did,
and repeating himself.
no, but I like what he said, man. He said, well,
What he say?
it did. Well, if you give me a minute there,
Okay.
guy, before I forget, I
Yeah,
forget,
yeah.
man. I keep talking to you. No, he said it, and this is not verbatim, but I picked it up. He's like, well, it wasn't found criminal, but I have to deal with the settlements. And basically, when he said that to me, is like, and you folks know about settlements. All it is about the Benjamins. That's all.
Yep, there's
That's how I got it. That's how I received it from him, and he's right.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, there's nothing to say that. Yeah, there's the settlements. Maybe it took them that long to come to the right type of number, so everybody's happy. Or everybody got their like we were talking about earlier with the economy. Product gets stepped on 2, 3 times, and when product gets stepped on 5, 6 times, as product gets stepped on, prices keep going higher. And it's the same thing in negotiations at times. It's higher, you know what I mean? When you don't, and it finally gets, to a point. But I'm just really, I think the NFL came out great on this because, hey, we appealed it. We're setting the standard. We're putting our foot down. They can stand there and, tell about discipline and player conduct, but their actions say otherwise. So that's getting better. They make a stand to say this is not going to be tolerated anymore, because that $5 million is the biggest fine I think anybody's been fined in NFL history, if I remember reading right. That's pretty hefty for a player.
Hey, so my question to you is, where does that $5 million go to in the NFL? Does that go to communities?
I think so. It goes to some fund where it's community outreach programs and stuff.
Okay, how much does the
Something like
NFL grab of that?
I don't know.
You know what I'm getting at.
I know what I'm getting at. Yeah, everybody's getting their cut.
Well, so you think they fined them $5
right?
million to get some money put in their pockets? The NFL makes like $40 billion, $45 billion a year.
Okay.
Yeah, they made
that's
45
measly.
point. Shit.
Yeah, everybody has that. He
was coached.
We talk about that black society, right?
And he repeated himself.
Right.
I've always stood on my innocence and always said that I've never assaulted anyone or disrespected anyone, and I'm continuing to stand on that. But at the same time, I have to continue to push forward with my life and my career. And for us to be able to move forward, I have to be able to take steps and put pride to the side. And I'm going to continue to stand on my innocence and keep pushing forward. And I've always, stood on not disrespecting or sexual assaulting anyone.
What are you apologizing for then? What are you apologizing for?
For everyone that was affected about this situation. There was a lot of people that was triggered.
But not the women that accused you of this?
I've apologized to all women. So anybody that was affected, even yourself, everything. So I'm apologizing to everyone that was affected about this whole situation.
What is going to be your response to that when the world comes down on you for standing on your innocence throughout this process?
Well, I have to do what's best for Deshaun Watson at the end of the day. And I know what happened. I was in those situations, but I have to continue to push forward and keep moving forward. And, that's what.
Sue Robinson seems to believe the accounts that the NFL presented. In that hearing, she used words like egregious. How do you square what she wrote in her ruling, what she thought happened, with your belief in your innocence?
Yeah, I know who I am. I know what type of person I am. I know the character of person I was raised to be, and I've always been. So that's the biggest thing for me, is continue to show who Deshaun Watson really is.
I just can't listen to it anymore. What was it? Fucking like 30 women? 30 women can't be lying about this guy.
No, but here's something I'm curious to know. And Demas, you can kind of allude and understand what I'm about to say right now, because everybody's going to tell me it's double, right? But he's still got 4 civil cases pending, right? Civil cases. So what's to say that he goes to these civil cases, and I am by no means saying he's guilty or innocent behind everything. So I can't say, put that disclaimer out there. I'm just doing a hypothesis here. or a situational thing. If one of those cases, two of those cases, maybe all four, he gets found guilty of sexual harassment or sexual assault, and he's punished by, I don't know, whatever he's punished by, there's another chance where the NFL, because this isn't, you just got punished again for some sexual harassment in Texas in the civilian level or whatever, right? At a different level. Well, hey, you just violated some player conduct again. Bam, I hit you with another fine and another suspension. Because it's just like when you got a DUI or you came up hot on a piss test, right? You got your Article 15 for getting your DUI or whatever, right? Go out into the civilian world, you still got to pay your fine and everything else for driving out there drunk.
Yes, sir.
Army-wise, because you disobeyed a direct order of an officer, right? Not to drink and drive from your safety brief. That's why you got the Article 15. It had nothing to do with your DUI. Relate that to Deshaun Watson. And relate that, because now the NFL punished you because you did, you did something wrong and you disobeyed some laws. Well, now these courts punish you again. Can the NFL go back and hammer them again for, conduct not becoming or the player conduct rules? What if they find some different rule he broke? You know what I'm saying?
Well, what does it say? I don't think any of us read it or looked for it, but that's understandable. It depends on what it says for a suspension. I mean, if it's if this is it and we can't come back and mess with you on this matter no more, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff could be in whatever it is. But this guy got suspended for 11 games, got fined $5 million, the most in NFL history for anything. Okay. Last I checked, it was Belichick, and he got fined $500,000 for the bullshit they were throwing at the Patriots back then. That being said, backup quarterback is doing well. He comes back. He's got 6 games left. Do you put him in, or you keep the quarterback that's doing well?
You keep the quarterback that's doing well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to throw him in at all.
No.
Hell no.
He's
Depends
be a
on where I'm at
distraction.
too. Yeah.
Okay, so the Browns are eating money, even though it's $1 million, whatever the fuck it is. They're still eating money. This guy's not going to play all year.
I'd rather eat $1 million and gain 17 or something with the salary cap or whatever it was that they.
Okay, so what's the contract with him? Anybody know?
It's like fully guaranteed, some crap like that.
Yeah, man.
So this guy doesn't give a fucking shit. This guy can sit back just like fucking Diaz right now with his hands behind his fucking head and just relax.
Exactly. On the business side, that was a great deal for Deshaun Watson. Couldn't have played it better. Shoot, there's a Super Bowl right there for him. You know what I mean? He played that to the T, business-wise.
I think there's no incentives involved in his contract. None. It's just 5 years, $250 million.
That's what I understand.
I think he's a top 10 quarterback too, man.
Oh, talent-wise, no doubt. Talent-wise, no
Yes,
doubt.
man.
This dude
Yes,
changes
man.
games. You're down by one score, he's got the ball, you got a chance.
Yes. No, he's going to get it there with his legs.
Oh, he's
Like a
that,
Cam
you
Newton.
think he's that kind of quarterback?
Oh yeah, Blaze.
He is.
Blaze. We've seen them a lot down here. Houston, Texan.
Yeah, Blaze.
Get it?
Hey, I had NFL Sunday Ticket. I've watched a lot of games. I don't see it.
The Houston Texans had nothing before they got him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They had nothing. He took them from nothing to playoffs. That guy is well worth that kind of money to get. He's well worth it. He can change a game. Arms, legs, either way, he can change a game.
$250 million.
Whatever. Hey, business decision is great, man. What do you mean?
Well, here's a little breakdown. Here's a little breakdown of his contract.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, okay, so maybe what was that? Let me find this guy's name. He played for the Mets. The Mets were still paying him 25 years later.
It's 5 years, $230 million. Signing bonus is
44 mil.
44 mil. Thanks, D.
Wow.
I mean, this is insane.
So the last 4 civil cases, Donnie, I think they want to wait until Deshaun gets his next paycheck.
Yeah,
from the
right.
Cleveland Browns.
Exactly.
You know.
Wait, because go back up a little bit. I'm sorry. I was looking at Bobby Bonilla. Apparently, they're not even going to get in the courtroom on those civil cases until 2023. The one article I was reading where it was talking about all this. They're not even on the ticket or ballot, whatever it's called. Yeah, till like 2023, April, May, something like that. So yeah, they're gonna get some of that.
They paid him almost fucking $45 million to sign a contract.
No, he didn't get that all.
Yes.
That signing bonus, no, you get that annually.
Yeah, no. Well, the $230 million is guaranteed, so all this money's guaranteed.
Wait,
they're just breaking it down for you.
But this is a great part of this contract. Language go back up, Blaze. Wait. Language exists that will not stop. Little more, Blaze.
Right there.
Language exists that will not forfeit signing bonus or void future guarantees upon suspension. So he already knew faced a suspension. So when usually players get suspended, I believe they don't get paid. Deshaun Watson's still getting paid.
You're right.
That's key right there.
This was all based on his 6-game suspension.
Right. And then his salary is here's where they pay $1 million. So their thing was, no, we know you're going to get suspended because the initial suspension, I think, was 12 games, what the NFL offered. So they already knew this. So Cleveland put this back in there to, this is what I'm talking about, they recruit money. Salary reduced from one, wait, Blaze, go back up. Stop. Read the last little bullet. 2022 salary reduced from 1.035 mil per the 6-game suspension. That's where I say the Cleveland Browns say the buttload of money, not having to pay him that much either, too. That's where
That's what I
everybody knew the
said.
deal.
Right. Well, this breakdown was based on a 6-game suspension. So we don't.
Right,
This
so
all
whatever.
changes because they brought it up to 11 games. But
Does that suspension include no participation in preseason?
I don't know. Oh, I'm pretty sure it is. If you're suspended, it starts now. I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't. You know what I mean? But Deshaun Watson said all the right things, and everything's going to be upset about it. But he's saying all the right things he should say.
As a Patriots fan, we knew the commissioner's office real good, didn't we, Blaze?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You guys, I just don't. I don't see where they think it's a bad thing. I really think it's NFL comes out looking decent. They set a standard. They set an example. And is it not what every one of the ladies that may have been involved in that, like he said, I don't know truth or facts. I'm just saying, at least it sets a point that, yes, it's being taken seriously now. We're not, for so many years, it said it got kicked down the road, whatever, go shut up the color blue in the corner. No, now we're taking it seriously from the jump, and right off the top, we're going to have our full attention on it. So at least the NFL sets that standard when it comes to stuff like this with discipline. Think of all the fans they just got back.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm pretty sure it affects a large NFL population fan base.
Right.
Some people would say he should be lifetime banned away from the NFL for the crimes he did, or the civil complaints, because he hasn't been found criminally.
Right. And there's others that thought the same thing. They thought he should have got an indefinite suspension until all his court proceedings were over, which, that's the one way somebody, chimed in early on, was like, why don't you wait till it's all over so you can bundle it all together and really put it, you know? Plus,
Donnie,
it keeps you in good graces because he's gone. Well,
but he's in his prime right now too.
Right. So there comes the debate. Is the NFL really taking it seriously? Or is this just a, hey, I'm going to put my foot down. We all sat down, we drank bourbon, and we played some golf, and we talked about how we're going to all come out winners above this. You know what I mean? So now it makes me wonder, are they really about, you know, setting a standard, or is it just they finally came to an agreement where the money was right for the NFL and them to not, you know, look like they're eating crow? I think that's more what it was like. And I don't know. That to me, that kind of leaves a little salt in my mouth, you know? These that taste like, Is it just about the money now? Because you're a revenue-producing machine. Deshaun Watson in his prime, out there on a football field with a good, decent defense. Oh, I think he could win some ball games and bring some money.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, sir. No, it's. Hey, before we go, does anybody have anything positive to end this show with? You know, to bring a smile to somebody's face. Yeah, positive.
Positives. You don't need no stinking positives.
Positive vibes. Positive vibes. You know.
No.
Family.
Positive
family,
vibes for what?
Wife,
He should be canceled.
kids,
Out.
grandkids.
No, man.
You know, positive stuff.
Positive stuff.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you want to talk positive?
Yeah, the fireman helped the old lady cross the street.
Yes.
You know,
we know
the police officer
No.
put his lights on for the
What?
kindergarten kids.
No, I want to ask this
I
question.
say
when it comes to money in
cancel
sports.
fucking Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, we have other
Well, that's-
celebrities Hey, but good point, Blaze. Good point. Good point. Other celebrities have been canceled for less minor infractions in society than what he has.
Exactly.
Right. So that's
This guy
once
doesn't
again,
give a shit about none of that. He doesn't give a shit. He's getting paid $230 million. So what do you have to do? Maybe spend about $3 million, $4 million to shut people up?
No, that's why they're waiting for the 23
Here,
season.
here's some cash. I don't want to talk about it no more, whatever.
Right.
You know, he could say it any which way he wants. You know what I mean? You know, if anybody else.
I'm sorry, Blaze. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Donnie.
No, here's what gets me. Is, you know, I don't know the facts, never gonna know. But pattern of behavior tells me I would tend to believe some of this happened, right? Because it's like we all say, it's more than, you know, two women, one person saying the same thing. You got 24 people saying the same damn thing. It's you know what I mean? It's pretty damning evidence.
Right.
But we can't criminalize the guy for what we don't know, right? So we don't want to talk about being equality and all that. Here it is. Here's a chance. You can't criminalize them for what you don't know. What
Donnie.
you believe, okay, but what you don't know, you can't, you can't do that.
What does the NFL know to take it from 6 games to 11 games?
They just didn't think 6 was worth a darn because they started at 12 when they first offered the suspension.
And the same fine?
That's why. No, they didn't even offer a fine. It was 12 games.
So you think
Suspended for
Cleveland's
12
looking
games.
like this, right? So you think Cleveland's like, well, maybe we can win fucking 6 games with the backup. You know what I mean? And Deshaun comes in for the last 6 games of the year. Maybe we go fucking 10-7. You know what I mean? Maybe still make the playoffs. You guys saying they're not going to play him, and I think that they are.
That's
I think
why
they're
said
going to
it
play
depends on
him.
where they're at. That's why I said it depends on where
Right,
they're at.
exactly. It depends where they're at.
11 games behind, 9-1. I'm not sure I want to roll with Deshaun Watson. If I'm middle ground,
I'm not 9-1. I'm staying with the kid, whatever kid they got back there.
But
of course I am.
If I'm 1-9, after week 12, 10, 12,
But-
whatever. You know what I mean? And Deshaun comes
What if-
back.
what
I'm
if
1-9. I'm 1-10. I'm not putting $230 million on the field to get a career-ending injury.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
What about
Hey,
6-5?
Hey,
What if they're 6-5?
if I legitimately think we have a chance, yes. If no, that's why I say 6-5 is the middle ground. I don't know, but I know one extreme or the other. I know what I do.
Hey, Donnie.
So
So,
you're
what?
saying, real quick, D, you're saying they're not going to play him. D, you're saying they're not going to play him.
Nope.
I'm on the fence about it, but I'll for the record here on the show, I'll say that they won't play him.
And your projection for the Patriots this year?
We make the first round of the playoffs.
With a record of what? 12-5?
No, not 12-5.
So
Not
let's talk
12-5.
about
I'm
something
thinking
else real
maybe 11-6, or we squeak in with 10-7. And Buffalo takes home field. They win a division again this year, but we get a wild card.
We'll see. And your Commanders, their captain?
Oh man, maybe 500. I think. I don't know. I just gotta see
You
where
can't
it's
go
all headed.
500 no more. Well, yeah, you can go 500 if you tie.
About 500. But I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out for the quarterback. I don't like the quarterback spot.
Hey,
I just
Donnie.
wish they would have done something different, but whatever. I'm not.
Donnie,
What's up?
so you could see the other cube up there, the quadrant where Mr. Watson's at, right?
Okay.
You strip him down, you put jeans, t-shirt, little rope chain. A brother from the street, he wouldn't be playing football with that background.
No.
You know what I mean? And a lot of it of him. The point I'm trying to make: if he wasn't a football player, he'd be in the can already.
Oh yes, of course. That's
All right.
that's, and everybody wants to talk about white privilege. There's privilege everywhere, so don't give me that bullshit.
And
Everybody gets it.
Well, the privilege is money.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So there's privilege everywhere, and privilege doesn't see color. Privilege sees green, because that's what mainly provides you privilege is money. So just like I was going to ask you guys what you thought about something right now. Big Ten just signed a $7 billion deal with CBS, Fox, NBC Sports, FS1, all that for their football. Oh my gosh, probably $1.2 billion annually for college football. So are we safe to say that let's just take college football out of it and make it like the semi-pro leagues, because that's what it's becoming. That kind of money, the Big Ten, especially with USC, UCLA, and probably Oregon going over there, that's a powerhouse stack just to go head-to-head with the SEC every year. And they got the money to do it at that point with the media deal.
Donnie, can I add something?
What's up?
This goes to student loans. You know, the government.
You can't do
wait a
that
minute.
now.
Wait
You
a
can't
minute.
do that
Wait a
now.
minute. Yeah, I have to. The student loans, you know, everybody wants us to pay for the student loans. I'm not for that. But I am for let's have the universities refund them their money and give it back to the government, and we'll be clean slate.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. How does that not work out?
Yeah. Oh, and that's a semi-pro league. Oh no, we want that. No, come on, man.
Come on. I'm with you. I'm with you,
because these educational institutions are nothing but financial institutions under the umbrella of education.
Yes, you're 100% correct. I'm not going to argue that point. I'm not going to argue that point at all.
You bet your ass.
But
'cause
that's
who
what I
gives a
want to
shit?
know.
Who gives a
Where's the
shit?
money?
Who gives a shit if Jamal can fucking read? You know what I mean? He can run a fucking a 4-3. You know what I mean? Put him on a team.
There's places like that. I'm not going to say there's not. There may be. I don't know. But what I want to ask Demas is my question is the same about where'd you get the money for this forgiveness? Where did the money come from? Because if it's the taxpayers paying this, No, how we need to figure out how they disguise that in whatever bill, and that needs to go.
Okay, because
to be paying back that money. You know what I mean? Just like you said, Demas, they should be able to go on their books and say, okay, well, you're discharged. Okay, we don't owe no more. You know, we report to the credit companies you're discharged. You know what I mean? There's got to be something in there where it's not costing taxpayers, you know, to reimburse the government for handing out money to somebody else. It's all electronic at this point. You know what I mean?
I gotta do it, guys. Final thoughts. D, go.
Nope. Thanks everybody for listening. Just take care of each another and nothing but love.
Donnie.
If I wasn't I'm not on the Trump bandwagon, but you know, at this point, after the last 2 weeks, it's going to be a hard fight for someone to tell me that it's not a political game against Trump. I just leave the man alone. Stop wasting the resources. Please go do something productive. Please, Congress, do something productive. Leave him alone. Enough's enough.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, peace and love to each and every one of you. Thanks for tuning into the Rabbit Hole. Don't forget to catch us next Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. right here on FFN Network of Blazeman Media. Mr. D, Mr. Donnie, I appreciate you guys coming on every Thursday night. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the Rabbit Hole. And don't forget to check us out. If you thought this show was good tonight, it's going to only get better. Peace and love to each and every one of you. Take care of one another, and good night, everybody.